everyone. This is Supriya, and the topics that we are going to talk about for the next 45 minutes would include an introduction about Astute, like what we do and who we are and our service offerings, and a brief primer about PTF. What is it? How does it work? And we will go through the challenges that you face in your PUM testing and how the PTF can give you solutions in order to overcome those challenges. And we will also go over a couple of PTF use cases and the best practices that we have. And I'll also give you links to the additional PTF resources and information about our upcoming webinars. And we will reserve the last 10 minutes for the questions if you have any. And you don't have to wait all the way till the end to ask your questions. You can keep posting them in the Q&A module of the webinar. Okay, so moving on. So these are some of the key takeaways from today's webinar. We will understand, how we don't have to do the manual testing during a PUM regression testing, and how to save time and effort during PUM regression testing, and how to increase your test coverage, how to kind of execute all the scripts and cover all the functionalities, bug fixes, enhancements, and so on. And also how to avoid the manual entry of test data every time that you want to do your PUM regression testing, and how to effectively manage the defects during testing, and how to reuse the test that is built once multiple times over and over again for your PUM regression testing, and also how to do the impact analysis of PUM updates on your test. So every time a PUM update is released, how is this going to impact my already existing scripts? Do I need to change them? Do I need to retrofit them? Or can I use them as is? So we'll go through all of this. On to specifically our PeopleSoft test framework services. We have like 4 different services that we offer. And the very first being the PTF assessment. So here we assess your existing manual scripts, and if you have any automated test bed that you already have, and then we will give you our analysis on how you can rapidly get to the 50% automation, and with the implementation of course, PTF and fastest. And I'll talk a bit about what fastest is. And we will also include a detailed plan for your regression test. And towards the end of the seminar, I'll also explain to you about how you can get this assessment for free for your organization, for your HCM or finance or camp solution applications. And the next service offering being the PTF Jumpstart. So here we focus on the rapid implementation of PTF to just get you started with automation up and running in between 6 to 8 weeks. And with this, we also build the test and the shell test. So a shell test in PTF terminology is nothing but a group of tests which defines a business end-to-end business scenario. Okay, and we also include the training. And we have another service called managed testing services, where for your every PUM update or tools upgrades, and you do a selective adoption of a certain features and enhancements or bug fixes that you have, or more customizations, we kind of include or cover all of these in your testing, and we build the scripts for it and run the scripts and give you the results. And we also do the test maintenance and support. And as a part of this updates and upgrades and customizations and enhancements, we build new test and shell test and execute them, and also offer defect management service. And finally, about Fastest. So Fastest is a bolt-on tool in PeopleSoft, which is built on top of PTF. So this is a product that is built by Astute. And also this is the only Oracle validated integration for PeopleSoft application testing using PTF. And some of these features that you get in Fastest are, you get the pre-built library, PTF library for applications like finance or HCM and campus solutions and ELM. So this will help you get started right away without having to see, like these other business processes I have, how do I automate and so on, because our pre-built already is built for the delivered business processes. Unless your system is customized, you can just use it right away. And Fastest is also built to overcome some of the challenges PTF had. So not everything was available or is available in PTF out of the box. For example, yes, I'm able to automate my testing, but do I have the reporting capability? Do I have the capability to, combine multiple scripts together and run them at once? No. So all of this was not available in PTF. So in order to overcome these challenges for our customers, we came up with this product. And this has a feature to, like identify and report a defect and manage it, and process sequencer where you can, combine multiple scripts together and run at once. And we also have a feature where you can, upload the data at once into the script without having to logging into PTF. And we also have a very cool feature that is a dashboard with the KPIs. So this will have all the key performance indicators, like how many scripts have been run, what's the status of that, and what's the status of the defect manager, and so on. And Fastest also gives you a capability to run your script also online and also in batch mode. So batch mode is something which is not offered in PTF. So, like what I mean to say is that if you want to run your script at a later day and a time, you can do that as well using Fastest. So moving on. So this is a brief summary of our automation experience. So now, for our customers, we've built over 100,000 automated scripts. So this is excluding the pre-built. So this is built for their business processes. And with this, there is over, 300,000 plus man hours saved. And we have also built over 8,000 end-to-end business processes. And with Fastest product, we have delivered over 50 plus Fluid features. So when you see it, like all of the reports and the pages is all available in Fluid, and with, leveraging the latest Fluid features with the tools. And with this, we have also been able to optimize 40 plus upgrades and over 5,000 defects that have been tracked. Let's go over a little bit about what PTF is. So this is a tool that is delivered with your PeopleSoft. You do not have to buy it separately from Oracle. This is already there, you own it. And the way it works is you have the PeopleSoft application. So it just automates the business process, the way you test your application within PeopleSoft. And then it is going to record all your user actions when you're doing your business process testing, and then play it back for you. And you can, play it over and over again with different sets of data. So on the left-hand side, I have my PeopleSoft application. And as and when I go and do my, manual testing, like I go into a page, I enter the data and I save the page and so on, that gets recorded as a script that you see in the middle image PTF. And this, when I run the script, it's just going to play it back for me. And the exact way I do my manual testing, the script will get executed. Okay, and I'll show you how does it work in a bit. I'm going to do a demo as well. And this PTF was delivered with People Tools starting 8.5.1. But back then, of course, it had a few bugs and so on. So for the customers who have tried it with 8.5.4 or until 8.5.6, I'm sure they would have experienced some difficulties in in editing script and so on. But since 856, it has been more stable. And now with 8860, it's like really, really good. And a few more other important things to know about PTF. So this is integrated with people tools. Means all of this test and the test cases, which are the data sets, all of these are stored as a PeopleSoft object in your PeopleSoft system. So when you have to do your migration, suppose from one instance to the other, you just do them just like you do your any other PeopleSoft project. So we have our records, fields, components, and so on, right? We put them together into a project and then move it across instances. So even these can be done the exact same way. So this is the link to the additional resources. We have a lot of material on our website, and we have blogs as well to understand, like more about PTF and, benefits of using this and how this is going to help you again, like when you're doing your PUM regression testing, and then how to automate it and reduce the time and cost, and what are the security best practices, and how to create and manage test plans. So we have like detailed information about each one of these topics. So I would encourage you to go and check it out. Okay, now let's move on to what a PUM regression testing is, and then understand the challenges it poses. So what's PeopleSoft Update Manager when we say PUM? So that is a tool that is used for applying the updates, patches, and any new features, enhancements in PeopleSoft application. And what is PUM regression testing? So this is a testing process that is usually done after applying the updates using the PeopleSoft Update Manager. And why is it done? So this is to make sure that the existing functionality that we have after applying the PUM is working as expected after applying the PUM. So this is to make sure that nothing is broken, or, if you have to do any kind of retrofits after this, or, my integration and everything with the third-party system is all happening well and good. So it's basically making sure that the system is working the exact same way as it used to work before applying the PUM. So we'll go through some of the major challenges when you're doing PUM testing. The very first one being the resource constraints. So both the IT team and the users have limited time. So which will like they won't be able to cover all the features or all the functionalities like during their testing. So if there are any customizations, enhancements, and bug fixes, so they won't be able to test all of the features in all the modules, so which will lower the quality of the test and also the test coverage. And then the next one is the test maintenance. So since PUM updates, is released regularly, and it has several bug fixes and enhancements, and building and maintaining the scripts to align with those new features and enhancements and bug fixes, it is something that's time consuming, and it's a challenge. And the third being like, it is, like if you're doing a manual testing from the test design to preparing the execution and executing it and tracking it, whether it has been successfully tested, are there any issues, and defect tracking and managing those defects and reporting, all of this is done manually. And we also have the challenges with test data. So whenever you have to do your manual testing, either you will have to like key in the test data yourself, or use the one that is already existing. And this data can always change from one environment to the other. So every time you'll have to do it manually. And the test data is also that, it's not like you have everything in one place. like in one Excel where you can copy paste. It could be lying in a table, which, where you have to run a query and pick up the data yourself, which is additional task, additional manual task of running the queries and picking up the right data and then, loading it to your test. And then, of course, like the test management, you have to manage the test plans, the execution of the test, and the defects, which will, of course, take a lot of time and effort. So now let us see how PTF is going to address these challenges that we saw in PUM testing. So the first one being, like testing it manually. And with PTF, the testing is automated, and you can actually do your testing to test one single feature or to do an end-to-end business process testing in all of your PeopleSoft application pillars. And the issue of resource constraint. So with PTF being very, very fast and it just executes a script in within span of seconds or minutes, it is definitely going to reduce the time and effort as well. And the third challenge that we saw was with the test coverage. So here, since it's not being done manually, and also that if we have done say suppose if you have tested 50 features in our last PUM update, and now we have additional 30 features. So I already have a script for those 50, and I just have to make sure I test 30 more, and I can combine these two so that I do not leave any of the features that was existing before or that has come as a part of my new PUM update. And also the test creation and maintenance. As I said, since the PUM updates are released regularly, we will have to keep updating our scripts in order to be aligned with those changes. And it's very easy to re-record or retrofit PTF without any coding in order to, be aligned with the latest PUM features. And the last one being the test management. So here we do not have to have our scripts maintained in folders in Excel sheets and the results in a different sheet and so on. So we will have a centralized place where we keep all the tests, which can be reused to run against multiple instances. And we also have the test data intact inside the test, and we also have the test results tied to it. So anytime you open a script, you should be able to see the test data that it holds, and also, if it has been run before, executed before, what's the result. And now let's move on to understanding what, how does it compare against running it manually. And these numbers that you are seeing, these are the real numbers based on our, our success stories with customers. So with the manual testing, you will have multiple repetitive tests, which is prone to user errors. And it does not cover all the features and functionalities, and the tracking and reporting is all manual, which is a bit hard to maintain. And if you have just PTF, so this testing cost and effort is significantly reduced because your test execution is automated, and also the maintenance and all is automated. And this is integrated with people tools. So you don't have the overhead of acquiring, another third-party integration tool just for your testing, and the overhead of managing that as well. And with Fastest, this is even further reduced, your testing cost and effort. And the features that it has is the dashboard reports and batch automation, which is you can execute your testing scripts in batch. And we also have the data mining capabilities where the users don't have to go and fetch the data every single time they have to run their scripts. We have the functionalities or capabilities, like where the test itself goes and fetches the data that is needed for it to execute a particular business process scenario. And let's go, oh, excuse me, I'm sorry. Okay, so let's go over some of the best practices for PTF. So first one being, you will have to understand the PTF architecture. So, how does it work and how to set it up and what are the various components of PTF. So that understanding needs to be there. And with respect to installation and configuration, you have to follow the installation and configuration document that's given by Oracle. And you have to make sure that you meet the system requirements. And there are certain prerequisites for the browsers and so on. And the test environment setup. So you need to have a dedicated PTF test environment. I mean, multiple users have multiple ways of setting it up, but the best practices which we have seen over years is to have a dedicated environment with an appropriate database and application access and security configuration. So the roles and permissions have to be set up in PTF in order to see, who can create a script or who can run a script and who can, edit a script. And ongoing maintenance. So regularly we'll have to review and update our PTF setup as needed. And also, if there are any latest patches or tools version available, it's always advisable to keep your PTF environment as same as the tools and application patch version of your other environments. And there is a link. If you have to look at more best practices, you can actually go to this link and see them in detail. Okay, so now let's see how to create and execute a PUM regression test plan using PTF. So how do you actually set up a plan in PTF? So there are a few prerequisites that you need to have in place. We need to have a well-defined test requirement, like the number of test scripts that need to be executed. Suppose if you have just done one bug fix, or if you have just done one customization, I don't have to run my entire test suite in order to test that, right? So we need to identify the number of scripts or what scripts need to be executed and the test data to be used. So what user, like when you are doing your testing, so with what user ID you need to log in and what's the data to be tested and so on. And we also need to have in place what are the different business scenarios I need to test and what are the different environments that I have in my test path, right? So some may just have like dev and test, some may have dev, test, and SIT and so on. So you need to identify your regression path as well. And of course, we have to be in line with the timelines and what is the expected test results. And the process of creating a test plan, we need to define the scope of testing and freeze the test requirements and define the test timelines and define expected test results. So when I run my scripts using PTF, this is the result I expect to see. So we need to identify and define that as well and allocate the resources, identify the environments, and prepare the test data and plan the script execution sequence. So some scripts may have dependency over the other, meaning like I won't be able to test one particular feature unless I've tested something else, right? In case of approvals, if I have to test my approval, so I cannot just test my approval process until and unless I test my submission process as well, right? and this plan needs to be reviewed and approved, before I execute and manage my test plans. So now, how do you execute these? So these should be executed based on the priority. First, to execute the business critical scripts, followed by the medium and low priority scripts. And the path also we need to define based on your requirements, dev, test, sit, and UAT, so on. And the sequence of the execution of these scripts is also extremely important, because some of the scripts may depend on a certain test result or the values fetched. So suppose, like, if I'm hiring an employee and adding the benefits to him, and so on. So first I need to get my employee ID before I go and like add him to the benefits and so on. So the sequence of the execution when you're using PTF is also very important. And this is a real case study of one of our customers who have done automation using PTF, and they also use fast test. And this is one of the biggest higher ed customer. So the application they have is finance, and the modules are AR, AP, billing, GL, and grants, which is a very, very complex module, and the project costing, so on. So we built over 85 shells. So the way we started with was with the rapid implementation first. So we got them up and running with automated testing using PTF in about 8 to 10 weeks. And then, so that included like around automating 10 end-to-end business processes with hundreds of individual PTF test scripts. And then over time, as a part of our managed services, we have now built over 85 shell scripts. And the test cycle that we did in 2020 was we did run 2 test cycles. And in 2021, it was same. We ran 2 test cycles for the 858 tools upgrade. And here I'm just mentioning the major test cycles that we did, but we also do a lot of other ones when they do their PUM updates, or like a CPU patch and so on. So in 2022, we ran 3 test cycles for the 859 upgrade and CPU patch testing. And in 2020, they went like they upgraded to PUM 32 and the tools 857. And in 2021, they upgraded to 858. And in 2022, they have upgraded to 859. And now they have the plan to upgrade to 860, early September or October. So this is a background of their modules, the test cycle we ran, and the tools and PUM version they're on. Now we will see what is their saving, right? So with doing all of these testing with PTF and what they used to do manually before that, and the timeline. So on the left-hand side, you will see the number of resources they were allocating for those modules in finance to test were 10 resources, and the time that was used was 4 weeks. And like they allocated full 100% time of those 10 resources for 4 weeks. And the scripts they tested, it was 100% utilization. Okay. And after that, they implemented a PTF with fast test. And now they still have those many resources. They haven't let go of them or anything, but their utilization is 30%. So the rest 70% of the time, they will put in other value add services and not just mundane testing, repetitive testing. And the time now that they actually use for doing this whole testing for the test cycle is 2 weeks for automated testing. And after that, they use 1 week for manual testing, because they have integration with other systems for their payroll, like a lot of other things in AP and all. So they do, that testing manually with the other third-party teams which own the tool. And the scripts utilization is 100%. And these numbers are real. And the resource time and effort that is reduced is over 70%. And this has been consistent over, like, for the last 3 years, this has been consistent. It has not increased with the number of test cycles or the PUM updates or anything. So this is like a really huge time and effort saving. And also, of course, the cost. Now, let us see, because I spoke a lot about, they have used fastest, and fastest has this feature and so on. So now let's quickly understand what fastest is. So as I said, this is a bolt-on tool in PTF that is built on top of PTF. So this acts as a middleman between PTF and the user. So the features or some of the drawbacks that PTF had or the features it didn't have. So to overcome that, this tool is built. So this is built on top of PTF and it comes with the pre-built test library for all the modules like HCM, finance, campus, and we also have pre-built for ELM. And it comes with the test management tools, dashboards, and the data mining capabilities, requirement manager, and defect management, and so on. And with with the release of new tools and the PUM updates, fastest and the pre-built library is also updated and always like provided to the customer as a part of her fastest maintenance and support. Okay, so now let's quickly jump into the demo. All right. So now here I have logged into the PTF client. This is how it looks like a two-tier client, just like the application designer. And I'm going to just execute one script. So this is my HCM PUM 38 instance. And I'm going to show you like how the PTF works, and the business scenario that I have here is to create a position. And we will see how it executes the script and gives you the results. All right, so this is actually a PTF script that has these multiple steps and the different actions and so on. And on the right hand side is where I have my data values or my data set. And this data set can be changed. Like my test, I have one single test can have multiple data sets. I can have hundreds of data sets. And that was one default. And this is another one that is called demo test case. And I have another data set which has past date and other information, and I have another one as well. So from this you can understand that the script can have hundreds of rows of data and it can execute all of this at once. And also it is very easy to load multiple rows of data into the PTF script using the import export option. So it is not that you will have to enter the data manually. Now let's see how to execute it really quickly. And this is the run button that I clicked on. And now my hands are off keyboard. And if you see on the left-hand side top, it says Chrome is being controlled by automated test software, which means this is taken over by PTF now. I'm not doing anything. And on the right-hand side, that small yellow box, it tells you what action is being done right now. So our test values being entered for the status date, action reason, business unit, and so on. And if you just observe the screen as well, I mean, look at the way it is, entering the data. If you had to do this, like manually, and you'll have to like tab into every field and enter the data, like type in and move to another tab and type in, but this PTF is executing it really, really fast. So it is not just executing or, oh, see, it already executed and created a position as well. All right, so you can, and it has also taken a screenshot after the position got created. So for you to go and identify, what is the result and what was done. Okay, so this is one part. And now, like this is something you did in PTF, but if you had used fastest here, you don't even have to log into PTF. You can just log into your PeopleSoft online application, the PIA, and run the script. And that result, what you saw, will all come with the screenshots in a PDF. So I would really encourage you to attend our other webinars, like where we show the fastest, features as well. Okay, and moving back. Okay, so now in conclusion, PUM regression testing is best done using PTF, because we have seen the challenges in the manual testing and how it can be addressed when we are using PTF. And the PTF will help in accelerated testing, where your time and effort both saved. And it also gives you an increased test coverage, query-based testing. And we have also the data mining capabilities, where the users don't have to go in and enter the data manually. So thousands of rows of data can be loaded at once with the features of mass load data upload, and we can also copy the test data and rename with the different test case and execute it. And fastest also has a defect management capability, which is not available out of the box with PTF. And the very important feature of using PTF script is the reusability. You can use the script that is built once, multiple times for your multiple test cycles to test the features with different sets of data or the user IDs. So which will help you in having a consistency across multiple environments. You will do the same kind of steps across multiple environments, whereas if you did it manually, like a person may just miss entering a value into a certain field, which will not happen if you're using an automated script in order to do your testing. Okay, and I'll give you a few more links to our PTF offerings if you want to learn more about PTF. And if you want to know about how do you get the PTF training, you just want the training. And if you also want to do a business case workshop with Astute to understand your current testing efforts and timelines and processes and see how you can move with automation. And you also have, if you want to take the pre-built scripts for your PeopleSoft applications, there's a link for that as well. And we also offer the flex support hours for PTF based on your requirement and the place where you are with your automation. And we also give you a comprehensive managed PTF services where we take care of everything for your PeopleSoft application testing, right from creating the scripts, executing them, and making sure that it meets your expected results, and then sharing the results with you. So this managed services takes care of everything in test automation for you.